Hello and welcome to Inktober 2021 from Blue Bunny Muse. I'm going to show you the stationery I got in preparation for this challenge. I got some new brushes. I got a size 2, a 6 and a 12. I then got some new pencils, specifically a 3 and 6B. I got this fine liner that is a 0.3 and I got it specifically because it is supposed to be a waterproof fine liner. I also got this white jelly roll pen to add highlights onto our artwork later. I'm just going to practice it on my hand a bit to see if it's effective. And I got this really cool golden marker, which I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with, but I was like, I have to have it. We need to add gold into our artwork, why not? And this is what the tip looks like unused. And then I just got the sharpener to keep our pencils sharp. Now that we can add our stationery to the stash, I'll show you the notepad I got specifically for this challenge. It's the Fabriano 250 GSM. It's quite smooth and I was a little bit concerned. It's not quite what I expected. And I also then got this carbon tracing paper. I've already designed my layout for today's challenge on my computer. I printed it out and was hoping to trace it onto the paper. As a backup plan, I also have this water multimedia pad that is 300 GSM, so it is thicker and the paper is more textured. Then we got 2 glasses of water. It's a good idea to also have some paper towels or newspaper on the side to use for your brushes to dry off and stuff. I then have a little shot glass specifically to decant some bleach into. We have a little palette. It is a bit dirty, but it does the job. I need brushes, as you have seen, and the inks, of course. I'm primarily going to be using this Parker Quink ink, and in addition, for just small touches of color, I've got acrylic drawing ink. So the reason we're using 2 glasses of water is when you initially wash off your brush, you're going to dirty the first glass. You need fresh, clean water for a clean brush when you're using your next ink. We're now going to decant a little bit of bleach because it smells strongly. And here are our 2 pads. I'm going to be doing some tests and some swatches to test which pad will be best at the end of the day. We are having wet weather and this pad is buckling just from the moisture in the air, which is concerning because we are going to be working with ink and waters. We're now testing the carbon paper. What we basically want to see is if once the lines are placed and we place our water and ink over it, will those lines disappear? And the answer is unfortunately no. We are now going to do some swatches and testing in both the pads to see which one comes out the best, which pad works best with these mediums. And it's also a good way just to learn the mediums because I don't usually paint or use inks often, and I'd rather practice and make mistakes with a few little test swatches than dive directly into my artwork and potentially ruin it. So that was the Fabriano. We're now going to test on the water multimedia. I've got the previous swatches next to me so you can see the results directly next to each other. These are the same inks, the same brushes. The only difference is the paper we are painting on, and I don't know if you can tell the difference. We're now testing the pen. It works great on using over already dried ink, but the other way around, not so much. If I place the fine liner lines down first and then apply water, it unfortunately smears. These are what the results look like next to each other, and I've definitely decided to go along with the watercolor pad instead. So now, as I mentioned, our carbon paper didn't work, so we're going to use a different way to transfer our line work onto the page. We're going to take a dark pencil. I'm using a 6B, and you essentially just roughly cover the back with it, the entire back of it. We're then going to take some masking tape and tape it down in position. You don't want it to move while you're tracing. Then you can use anything with a sharp point, whether it be a sharp pencil or a pen or a pacer. And then we are going to retrace over our lines, transferring it onto the page below. And now with our lines done, we can get on to the art. So our first Inktober prompt is crystal. I've decided I want to keep a theme in all of my artworks throughout this Inktober. So each artwork is going to be featuring a rabbit or a bunny, and I'm kind of going for that whimsical, magical, foresty look. And so I have got two little bunnies that are supposed to kind of be like these little spirits or little sprites that are hiding and playing in between some crystals, underneath some mushrooms. So I'm about to tackle the crystals next. Unfortunately, my phone did stop recording in between and I did not notice. We're going for touches of blue in these crystals, and what I love about crystals is they're so much fun to draw and paint. They're different to normal day objects where you don't have to be hyper realistic for them to still look like crystals. You can just place random lines, random shapes. Some parts are dark, some are light. It doesn't really matter in which order. They're so much fun. And then next I will be tackling the sky. Unfortunately, my phone did stop recording again, and once again I did not notice until so much work had been done. So to get that night sky, I'm just wetting the back with water and then dropping random amounts and opacities of inks onto it. So the great thing about this wet on wet technique is that the ink almost spreads itself and creates its own pattern. So once the work was complete, essentially what I did was I used a fine liner to go over and outline everything, just add those small amounts of little details, as well as the white gel pen to add highlights, and the gold pen, which I only used on the crystal since that was the official prompt for this artwork, and the centerpiece for this artwork. I hope you enjoyed today's Inktober with me, and I hope you will come back and enjoy the future prompts for this month of Inktober with me. Have a lovely day or evening wherever you are. Bye!